Just a heads up, it's been 2 videos in a row now that my camera cut out while I was recording, so I'm gonna try to get this figured out before the next video, but in the meantime, enjoy the screen capture. Thanks.
What is a runner's high, and how do I get one? In case you can't tell, I just went for my evening run. I'm very sweaty, I'm gross, I need to shower, but I wanted to come in here because I'm so tired of not having a runner's high. I don't know if you've ever heard those pretentious people who are runners. They're probably not pretentious, but it seems that way when I can't relate to what they're saying. But they're like, oh, once the runner's high hits, it's a drug like nothing else. I was recently listening to an interview with Tyler Glasnow, pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he was speaking about how when he's pitching, he hits the anaerobic state, which is a runner's high. And he just gets to the point where his body just like, well, we're just doing this and it's gonna suck, but like, it's okay, so it just doesn't hurt anymore. And I want that, because when I'm running, I tend to run faster than conversation pace, not like crazy fast. I'm running 8-minute miles every day, and that's literally it. And then it's a cool down, and I get to be this sweaty and disgusting. It's honestly remarkable, but nonetheless, I want runner's highs. I want to be able to feel like I could go farther. I don't know if I'm not going farther enough. That's probably my running theory right now. I don't run long enough to get a runner's high, but I want to know what it is. I know what kind of anaerobic stuff is. I really don't. So let's start out by Googling, what is a runner's high? John Hopkins' old friend from the Poison Ivy episode, if you watched that. Okay. This is The Truth Behind Runner's High and Other Mental Benefits of Running by David J. Linden, PhD. Okay, so he goes on to say, you may have experienced it, that relaxing feeling after a good run. Pfft, no, my legs hurt, I'm sweaty, and I feel like crap. I did a cool down, don't worry, I stretched twice before and after. Well, stretched once before and once after, trying to maintain a good physical shape, if you will. This is often referred to as a runner's high. The experience is usually attributed to a burst of endorphins released during exercise. Honestly, can't relate. I feel good about myself. I know it's healthy to exercise, but I never get to the point where I'm like, fuck yeah, this is it. This is what I want. But is that truly an endorphin rush you're feeling or something else? So he's trying to figure out if it's just endorphins from being like, yeah, I'm doing great, this is awesome, or if it's something else. He goes on to say that when you start out your run, your body goes through a transition. Your breathing may become heavy. I can attest, my breathing certainly becomes heavy. I actually do rhythmic breathing when I run. So an inhale and exhale cycle for me is 4 strides. It's, I think my noise gate cut that off, but it's essentially like, ha, ha, hoo, hoo, ha, ha, hoo, hoo, but not that like staggered. It's just 2 strides in, 2 strides out. And in my head it sounds like that, but it probably doesn't. It probably just sounds like I'm dying. Anyways, and you might notice your pulse quicken as your heart pumps, and heart pumps harder to move oxygenated blood to your muscles and brain. That's a good thing, keeping you alive, of course, because you're using the oxygen in your blood as you run, and you need more, hence you breathe heavier, and your body's moving it faster. That's all simple stuff. As you hit your stride, your body releases hormones called endorphins, which leads me to the next question, unless he's going to answer it here. Popular culture, yeah, he answers it immediately away. Okay, so endorphins, or at least pop culture identifies them as chemicals behind runner's high, a short-lasting, funny, a short-lasting, deeply euphoric state following intense exercise. That didn't really answer my question. What are endorphins? Right there, boom. I'm just going to take whatever definition I can get here from Wikipedia even. Endorphins are peptides produced in the brain, so it's brain hormones that block the perception of pain and increase feelings of well-being. So endorphins basically tell you, I'm not hurting and I feel good. That's some sick stuff. That is some evolutionary crap, because I guarantee you early monkeys were not like, oh yeah, let's go hurt ourselves and have fun. Isn't that the whole thing with spicy foods? Isn't that like one of the things where it's literally hurting ourselves for pleasure? I could be wrong. I'm not going to deep dive in that here. That might be a topic for another day. Who knows? Okay. Surveys have revealed that runner's high are rather rare. Okay, so glad to know I'm not the only one who's not feeling it. However, the majority of athletes never experience it. Yeah. I've been running on and off for probably 10 years now. Mostly off, not gonna lie. But there was one time when I was early high school, maybe late middle school even, I was trying to do distance running. I thought I could do cross country when I was in high school. I ended up going to a high school that didn't do any sports. It was purely academic. And in the process, I kind of stopped running after that. But I was running like a 5K every day. And one day I just felt so good. I ended up running about 9 miles. And then the next day I was absolutely dead. And that was the only time I think I may have felt a runner's high. And I was just like, yeah, I feel great. I'm just going to keep on going. I did, and that, excuse me, I'm still trying to recover from that run. It wasn't good the next day. Surveys have revealed, okay, I read that part. Indeed, many distance runners merely feel drained or even nauseated at the end of a long run, not blissful. So this is implying that's mostly in distance runners, which makes me feel better because I'm not running long distances right now. I'd like to eventually, but I want to get to the point where my heart rate's not at 190 beats per minute when I finish a mile. Don't know if that's healthy, and I don't want to find out, honestly. Anyways. Okay, and though endorphins help prevent muscles from feeling pain, I don't know if that's just in the moment or if that's a long term. Maybe they'll get more into it here. It is unlikely that endorphins in the blood contribute to a euphoric feeling or any change at all. So they're saying it might not affect your mood. A runner's high is just the release of endorphins that does affect your mood, but it doesn't always do that. Research shows that endorphins do not pass the blood-brain barrier, so that's fun. It doesn't get from our blood into our brain. Good to know. That relaxed post-run feeling may be instead due to endocannabinoids. Cannabinoids entail cannabis-based products, but I would imagine that endocannabinoids are different. And as this says, they are biochemical substances similar to cannabis, but naturally produced by the body. That's really, really cool. There are chemicals that our body can produce that give us the same effects of cannabis. Wow, that's definitely a topic for another day. Anyways, exercise. Okay, this isn't crazy long. Good to hear. Exercise increases the levels of endocannabinoids in the bloodstream. So working out makes you feel high. You heard it here first. I'd imagine it's mostly not the THC kind of cannabinoids. The author then goes to explain, unlike endorphins, endocannabinoids can move easily through the cellular barrier, separating the bloodstream from the brain, where these mood-improving neuromodulators promote short-term psychoactive effects such as reduced feelings of anxiety and feelings of calm. Okay, so the things that are actually giving you less pain are getting to your brain. The things that are making you feel very good, the endorphins, are not getting to your brain. So that makes sense as to why I'm not getting a runner's high. But how do people get them? Now it's getting into the point of the long-term mental benefits of exercise. Obviously, we know exercising is good for you. The 3 bullet points that they list here are improved working memory and focus, better task switching ability, and elevated mood. Okay. By doing shoot. This isn't necessarily what I want here. Let me finish reading this and make sure I'm not missing something that I do want to know. The mental benefits don't stop when you finish your run. Okay, I know that this is something that can happen. There's a lot of effects after you run that are caused when you do run. In this case, it says, can spark growth of new blood vessels to nourish the brain. So your blood vessels are trying to adapt to get used to running, and I guess that works for the ones that go to your brain as well. Exercise may also produce new brain cells in certain locations through a process called neurogenesis. That's pretty cool, which may lead to an overall improvement in brain performance and prevent cognitive decline. So you hear it first, now very, very clear, it may lead to preventative cognitive decline. That's not how that sentence was supposed to work, but it could possibly prevent cognitive decline in some cases. That's really good. Exercising is good for you. We know that. According to this, it has an dramatic antidepressive effect. Blunts the brain's response to physical and emotional stress. Cool. That's great. Good to know. Happy. What's more, the hippocampus, the part of the brain associated with memory and learning, has been found to increase volume in regular brains of exercisers. So this is just saying exercise is good for you. That's not what I needed to do. What I want to know is how do you get a runner's high? What does a runner's high feel like? This is just purely subjective, I believe, if I got that right. I mix up objective and subjective sometimes. This is just based on personal beliefs. A runner's high is a brief, deeply relaxing state of euphoria. Okay, I know what euphoria is. Okay, so basically a runner's high is when you feel really relaxed and good. Cool. Happy for you. Is it safe? Runner's high is a real phenomenon. It causes fleeting joy or calm. Okay. But contrary to popular belief, endocannabinoids, not endorphins, may be the cause. Okay. That didn't answer the question that it asked. Whatever. Ugh. Okay, I want to find another source that's actually good. There's not a lot. Holy cow. Okay, National Institute of Health. Do endocannabinoids cause the runner's high? So this is quickly not telling me how to get a runner's high, which is unfortunate because it doesn't seem like it's something you can control, and that might just be the conclusion here. The runner's high is an ephemeral feeling some humans experience during and after endurance exercise. I wouldn't say that me running a mile as fast as I can is endurance exercise, it's just exercise. Recent evidence in mice suggests that a runner's high depends on the release of endocannabinoids during exercise. However, little is known under what circumstances endocannabinoids are released during exercise in humans. This somatic review sampled, okay, this is just an actual study from the National Library of Medicine by Michael Siebers, Sarah V. Biederman, and Johannes Fuss. I said all of those with the German reading, so if I got it wrong, I'm sorry, except I didn't say Michael, I said Michael. Nonetheless, endocannabinoids seem to cause a runner's high. Let's go to Reddit, r/running. Okay. So the poster here, FunSun97, said, I recently did a lot of walking and noticed a mood increase, or if I do an activity all day, like say going to a water park where I'm active for a long... Okay, so a runner's high might not necessarily be while you're running, at least according to this one. He's trying to figure out if he's had a runner's high, and he's saying he has that mood increase, which we were saying, based on the other article that we were reading, is something that can happen if you just exercise more. But a much harder short jog doesn't give me a mood booster high at all, even though it was much harder for a short duration. So this is more like what I'm doing here. He's running very fast for a shorter amount of time. Is that the same as a runner's high, what I experienced from a long backpack walk, or is it not the runner's high and is it something different? Do only runners get the runner's high if they're good enough at running for a long time, for a length of time few will experience? So do you have to be running for a long, long time? That's kind of what I was trying to figure out. This person's had the same question as me. He just turned to Reddit and didn't make a YouTube video about it. For me, like, everything slots into place. It sounds stupid, but I feel like a machine. See, that sounds awesome. I just want to be able to go. Your breathing is just right for your energy expenditure, and you feel like you can just go on for hours, almost like it's effortless. That's kind of what I want there. But that should be impossible given your ability, and yet somehow in that moment it's not. So there's no actual information there. He's just saying what his version of a runner's high does feel like. This next person, Tempest of Dudge Tree, I can't read users' names. I'm cutting that off. I'm sorry. When I first started, I noticed goosebumps and happiness around 56 minutes. No, thank you. I'm not running for that long. I tried to time it when it happens. Tool sings alive during parabola. What? This isn't English. My brain's fried even though I'm exercising. That's cringy just typing it out. I don't get goosebumps anymore, just a feeling like I can run forever until my knees and hips remind me that I suck. So this person's like, I feel like I can run forever until I can't. Okay, I'm not particularly experienced, but I swear I only get it if I sort of push myself beyond what's comfortable. So it seems like for them, it's only long runs. Okay, typical running endorphins, and no, you don't need to be an Olympic athlete or anything. I don't get runner's high during my training runs. My last runner's high was on a trail run that I pushed myself on. I'm not running trails, I run my neighborhood. The loop around it just happens to be exactly a mile, and that's perfect for me. 45 minutes, 5 miles. Yeah, these people are running far. So that leads me more so to what I heard in that initial Tyler Glasnow interview that I listened to, where he was talking about the anaerobic state. So now I'm going to Google, what is an anaerobic state? I can't spell because there's an extra A in there. Anaerobic is without air and refers to the body producing energy without oxygen. Okay, haven't seen anything of that sort throughout this whole thing. Wow. This typically, yeah, I'm not doing anything with anaerobic exercise then. All my stuff is very much aerobic. I am panting the whole time. Anaerobic zones during... Oh, this sounds horrible. It's just exercising until you're about to die. High-intensity interval training. Yes, I've dabbled in this, where you go from sprinting to stopping to sprinting to stopping at very varied intervals. I did it while running for a lot. I've never did it with any other kinds of exercise, but I would do it where I would dead sprint on... I would set the treadmill to 10, and I would slowly ease myself onto it, run on the treadmill for like 40 seconds, and then I would stop for like a minute, minute and a half, something like that. I don't remember the exact regimen I was doing on. I just know it sucked and it killed me. Anyways, this person is claiming that it has health benefits. Of course it does with exercise. Exercise is good for you. It's a great way to improve your cardiovascular endurance, as well as build and maintain muscle and lose weight. If you're doing any kind of aerobic exercise, it's a great way to lose weight. Don't let them trick you with that. Along with aerobic exercise, which is what I'm doing, anaerobic should be a part of your weekly... I'm not making it part of my routine. It sounds horrible. Okay, so this is just a definition. Anaerobic is with oxygen, and... No, aerobic is with oxygen, and anaerobic is without it. Anaerobic exercise involves short, fast, high-intensity exercises that don't make your body use oxygen like it does for cardio. Instead, anaerobic exercise breaks down glucose. So this is quite literally just burning sugars in your body. The ads made my text move and I lost my place. That stinks. Okay. I don't think this is what I'm looking for. This isn't a runner's high. This is interval training. That's quite the opposite. So essentially, what we've gathered here is that your body is weed. No, in all seriousness, your body releases endocannabinoids that can get to your brain, according to that one study that we read. And when they do get to your brain, your body begins to feel less pain. It's one of those things that I compared to the feeling of eating spicy foods, where our bodies have evolved to let us do it even though it hurts, but we still do it anyways. Really cool. Our bodies like exercising, good for us, hurts, but we make it not hurt sometimes. So I think we've kind of figured it out. I don't run long enough to get a runner's high, and the way it works is actually pretty cool. You should probably just smoke some weed instead. This has been Let's Figure It Out. I'm Rusty Nails. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Also, I meant to say this during the video, but I'm trying to grow this channel because I just want to be able to do this more regularly, and if it could get to a point where more people are enjoying it, giving me more ideas, and informing me even more on topics that I'm trying to learn about, I'd really appreciate that. So if you could subscribe and like the video, that'd be awesome. Thanks.